Questions 11 through 20 on the 2017 Grade 8 AMC 8. A square-shaped floor is covered with congruent square tiles. If the total number of tiles that lie on the two diagonals is 37, how many tiles cover the floor? Well, let's think about this. We've got some sort of square here, and then I'll draw two diagonals. And so this one, and of course the other one right here. And what they're saying is that you've got these square-shaped tiles that line the diagonal, and they're congruent, so they're all the same size basically, like that. And when you do this, obviously you will notice that the one in the middle will have been placed in a way that it's exactly in the center. And then it just keeps going like this, right? So because of the symmetry of this diagram, you will have x here, x here, right? The same number will be there. Similarly, the same number here, and the same number of squares will be there. And then, of course, don't forget the one in the middle. So 4x plus 1 will be the total number that lie on the diagonals, and they are telling us that that's 37. So that means 4x is equal to 36, x is equal to 9. So that means that from here to here, there are 9 from, if you look at the side length. And then we've got 1 in the middle, and then from here to here is also 9. So 9 plus 1 plus 9 is 19, is basically the side length in terms of the squares, 19 squares. And therefore, since it's a square, that's also 19. So the total number of squares or tiles that cover this entire shape is 19 times 19. And that is 361. So number 11, the answer is C. The smallest positive integer greater than 1 that leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4, 5, and 6 lies between which of the following pairs of numbers? This question is similar to finding the LCM, least common multiple, of 4, 5, and 6. Okay, well, 4 is 2 times 2, 5 is just 5, and 6 is 2 times 3. The LCM would be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And that is 60. But the number leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4, 5, and 6. If the remainder was 0, then that number would be 60, but it leaves a remainder of 1, so that number is 61. And therefore, the range that it lies in is 60 to 79. So number 12, the answer is D. Peter, Emma, and Kyler played chess with each other. Peter won 4 games and lost 2 games. Emma won 3 games and lost 3 games. If Kyler lost 3 games, how many games did he win? Well, Peter, Emma, and Kyler. So we have wins and losses. Peter's 4 and 2. This is 3 and 3. And we don't know how many wins, but the losses are X. Well, the number of wins has to equal the number of losses, right? So 4 plus 3 plus X has to be equivalent to 2 plus 3 plus 3. So 7 plus X has to be equivalent to 8, and therefore X is 1. So Kyler won once. So number 13, the answer is B. Chloe and Zoe are both students in Miss Demeanor's math class. Last night, they each solved half of the problems in their homework assignment alone and then solved the other half together. Chloe had correct answers to only 80% of the problems she solved alone, but overall, 88% of her answers were correct. Zoe had correct answers to 90% of the problems she solved alone. What was Zoe's overall percentage of correct answers? Okay, so with Chloe, let's just say there's 100 questions. So they're telling me that 80% she solved alone. So of the half that she solved, 40 of them she got correct. And the other 50, Well, we don't know that yet, but we do know that 88 total. So out of the 100, she got 88 right. So that must mean that this number is 48. Because 88 minus 40 is 48. Now we turn our attention to Zoe. And that is also 100 questions. And with Zoe, we know that this number is going to be the same because they worked on those problems together. So they have the same score for those. And Zoe's got 90% on this problem she solved alone. So those would be 45 correct. So her overall would be 45 plus 48, which is 93 out of 100 correct, which is 93%. So number 14, the answer is C. In the arrangement of letters and numerals below, by how many different paths can one spell AMC 8? Beginning at the A in the middle, a path only moves from one letter to an adjacent, above, below, left, or right, but not diagonal letter. One example of such a path traced in the picture. Okay, well, starting with A, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That's one such path. Then AMC that way, that's another path. AMC here, AMC 8 here. So it looks like 4 for each of these going in that side, but let's keep going here. There's a fifth one there, and looks like there's a sixth one here. So it looks like for each of these M's I get 6. And because of the symmetry of this diagram, this will give me 6, this will give me 6, and that will give me 6. So 4 times 6, which is 24, is the total number of paths. So number 15, the answer is D. In the figure shown below, point D is on side BC, so that ACD and ABD have equal perimeters. What is the area of ABD? Okay, well, I believe it's going to be approximately here, that D, because if I put D there, and therefore this becomes 2, and this becomes 3, and this is whatever it is, x, then the perimeter would be 6 plus x for each of those triangles, ACD and ABD. So now we have to figure out the area of ABD, so draw a perpendicular like that, and draw a line across like this. So what that means is that this height, which is the distance from there to there, is equivalent to the distance from there to there. And that distance was basically 2 over 5. 2/5 of this distance, which is 3. So there we go. So H is equal to 2 over 5 times 3, which is 6 over 5. So the area of that triangle ABD will be 1/2 base times height, and the height is 6 over 5. So that's 24 over 10, and that is 12 over 5. Yeah, that's it, 12 over 5. So number 16, the answer is D. Starting with some gold coins and some empty treasure chests, I tried to put 9 gold coins in each treasure chest, but that left 2 treasure chests empty. So instead I put 6 gold coins in each treasure chest, but then I had 3 gold coins left over. How many gold coins did I have? Alright, so it looks like if you had 9, 9, 9, ... like that, that leaves 2 empty. So let's say there's X treasure chests there. 1, 2, 3, ... until X. And then with the 6th situation, we put 6 in all the treasure chests, and then you still have 3 left over. So ... like this. So this is X, and this is obviously 2 treasure chests. So in mathematics, that means 9x is equal to 6 times x plus 2 plus 3, that remainder. So this is the algebra. 9x is equal to 6x plus 12 plus 3. So 3x is equal to 15, and therefore x is equal to 5. So the total number of coins, well, we can just use that one, 9 times 5. And that is, of course, 45. So number 17, the answer is C. In the non-convex quadrilateral ABCD shown below, BCD is a right angle, AB is 12, BC is 4, and CD is 3, and AD is 13. What is the area of the quadrilateral ABCD? Well, they told me that BCD is a right angle, so this is a right angle. And let's label everything now. AB is 12, BC is 4, CD is 3, AD is 13. Let's join D to B, like that. Well, that's obviously going to be 5, since that's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And since this is a 5, 12, 13 triangle, this is a right angle, because 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. So that means that's right. And also before, 3 squared plus 4 squared was equal to 5 squared. Well, the area of quadrilateral ABCD will be the area of that triangle ABD minus that small triangle BCD. So ABD is 1/2 base times height, and BCD is 1/2 base times height. So 60, 30 minus 6, so that's 24. Number 18, the answer is B. For any positive integer m, the notation m factorial denotes the product of the integers 1 through m. What is the largest integer n for which 5 to the power of n is a factor of the sum 98 factorial plus 99 factorial plus 100 factorial? Well, the first thing I'm going to do with that is factor out the 98 factorial. That'll help us. So we'll get 1 plus 99 plus 100 times 99. Like that. And then this 4 becomes 98 factorial, and when you do the math here, that becomes 10,000. All right, so now we got to squeeze out as many 5s as we can. Okay, well, from here, that's obviously 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So we can squeeze out a 5 from here, 5 from here, 5 from here, and 5 from there, because each of those is 2 times 5. Now, how many 5s can we squeeze out from 98 factorial? Well, 98 factorial is basically 98 times 97 times 96 times 95 times 94, and so on, right? You guys get the idea. Dot, 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 all the way down till 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Well, obviously, every multiple of 5, you're going to be able to squeeze out a 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and 95. But this question's a little tricky, actually. Surprisingly tricky for a grade 8. Why? Well, these are pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And 23 is one of the answer choices, but that is wrong. Why? And that is where the trickiness comes in. Some of you already know what I'm about to say, some of you don't. It's these guys. This one, and this one. These have 2 5s that you can squeeze out from each of them, right? 5 times 5. So as you can see, you get 3 additional 5s by doing that. So it brings up the total number of 5s to 26, and therefore number 19. Very good question. The answer is D. an integer between 1000 and 9999 inclusive is chosen at random. What is the probability that it is an odd integer whose digits are all distinct? Okay, well, it's a probability question, so the denominator has to be the total. Well, the total is all the numbers that are between 1000 and 9999 inclusive, and that's going to be 9999 minus 999, and that is 9,000. So 9,000 goes into my denominator. Now the numerator is my specific condition that I've got to create this 4-digit number, and it's odd, and all digits are distinct. Okay, well, the digits, I'll write them all out. It'll help me a little bit. Okay, so because it's odd, the last digit has to be either a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 9. So I've got 5 possible choices for that. The first digit can be anything except a 0. So and it also cannot be one of these guys, since one of these numbers has already been selected to make it an odd number. So of the 10, I'm down to only 8 selections. Can't be a 0, and it can't be one of these guys. Like, for example, if I had put a 7 there, I can't put a 7 here. So that's why it's 8 choices. And then for the next one, let's say I've already chosen the 7 to make it an odd number. I've already chosen, say, 3 to put here. So I put a 7 here and a 3 there. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 choices remaining. So for this guy. And then for the last one, similarly, let's say I chose a 7 to go here. Let's say I chose a 5 to go there and a 4 to go there. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 choices left to go in that third spot. Okay, so now I have to multiply these all together. And when I do 8 times 8 times 7 times 5 is 2240. And when you bring this down to lowest terms, you get 56 over 225. And therefore, number 20, the answer is B.